Chapter 12, Finale Fiasco. The next morning, you walk on the set to film what you hope will be the Season 1 finale. You want to be fully in the moment, you need to be, but Ashton's words from last night still haunt you. What if he meant he's ready to move on from us? From me? You okay? You know you should cover, but if you're honest, you just want your brother right now. He always looks out for you, even when you don't look out for yourself. No, I'm not okay. Not really. Well, if this is about me and my behavior last night, I'm really sorry. The champagne went to my head. It's embarrassing. Don't be sorry. You were fine. It's what Ashton said. Wait, what did he say? About moving on to the next thing? Did he mean he's done with the show? What if he's lost interest? What if he shelves it? From everything I've seen, Ashton is 1,000,000% on board with the show. Full promo push, the works. We're not going to get buried on the service, Nora, and we're not a tax write-off. This thing is going to see the light of day, and it's going to shine. Then what was that toast? I think it was Ashton being, well, Ashton. He's kind of allergic to feelings. Always has been. Think of it as his way of showing affection. Eddie gives you a soft smile and pats your forearm. I love you, but I think you're being a little paranoid here. Seriously? Okay, you don't like that Eddie called you paranoid, but what if he's right? Eddie's got a good reason to believe in Ashton. Besides, you both already went to Greece to location scout for Season 2. Ashton wouldn't do that just for fun. Oh, damn it. Listen, if you're convinced that something's up, maybe it's time to ask him yourself. Maybe. Being direct wouldn't hurt. He nods, reaching over and lightly punching your upper arm. There you go, talk to him, and I'm sure you'll feel better after. Hopefully. Or, Ashton will run away again, taking your heart and livelihood with him. Yay. Eddie gets called away by the director of photography. You're headed over to prep Gemma and Celeste when your phone buzzes. Ashton's sent a picture of your favorite resort secret garden along with a simple text. 5 minutes. It's time to take Eddie's advice to heart, so you text Ashton a quick, be right there, and head off set. If I want to reassure myself he isn't going to leave now, I need to know why he even left. Then, even if it hurts. I hope it doesn't hurt. You arrive at the garden and find Ashton waiting for you. Hey, beautiful. Your heart flutters at how happy he is to see you, and you let him pull you in for a quick kiss. For a moment, you lose yourself in his weight, his warmth always better than you ever imagined. You tug him to you playfully, wanting to pull this moment out of time, keeping it forever. Hey, yourself. Ashton's body melts against yours, and you throw your arms around him, breathing him in like a precious air in a flooded cave. You take a deep breath and step back to look at him. What you're about to ask is terrifying, but you have to know the truth. Everything okay? Yes and no. Well, what's on your mind? Ashton, do you even want a Season 2? You said you're excited to move on to the next thing. The next thing is getting ready for Season 2. Post, promo, prep, more locations to scout. But the way you talked... I thrive off being busy. You know that. I want to take the show to even greater heights for Season 2. There's so much for us to do together. Every move I make, I want you beside me. You take a deep breath. This is the moment to tell him what's really eating away at you. I know, I get in my head sometimes, but you have to understand. I do. Really. There's a lot going on, and the pressure for the finale... No, Ashton, it's not that at all. It's because I mean, I'm gonna be honest, several chapters is you not trusting him. Glimpse the first flash of hurt across his face and turn away. You can't think of his feelings, or you'll never get it out. You're this brilliant CEO with models, wannabe actresses throwing themselves literally at you. If I wasn't enough to catch your attention before, what's so different now? You don't want to see a startled face under the graduation cap of all those years ago, but you do. You owe me an explanation, a real one. I suppose we've never talked about my reasons openly. He takes your hand and clasps it in his. He stares down at them for a long moment before speaking. If I'm being honest, I was ashamed. Am ashamed. My leaving didn't have anything to do with you. It's the worst mistake I've ever made. But you'd think I lost my mind, maybe I did. He pauses and your heart beats wildly in your chest as the silence stretches on. Then he looks you in the eye. There's more to the past than you know. In fact, you broke my heart, too. How do you figure? You went to Europe. I cried on the couch all summer. I saw the pictures, looked at them all the time. Please, let me tell you about it from my point of view. Maybe knowing the whole story will put your fears to rest. You could have at least shaven him. Now playing as Ashton. That day of my high school graduation, you came up to me with tears in your eyes. Ashton, I have to tell you something. What's wrong? I can't keep it a secret for another minute. Nora, wait. I'm in love with you. Please don't go to Europe. I know you're going to do incredible things, and I want to be a part of them. I want to be a part of your life, please. I stood there horrified, not because I was embarrassed for you, but because I was ashamed of myself. I was about to embark on the riskiest thing a person could do, to trust an environment that had chewed up countless others on the rare hope that some vague sense of my talent would beat the odds. Ashton, please say something. I could end up washed up, destitute. I knew, Nora, because you were you. You'd stick by me. You'd tell me the world was unjust, and a better time was coming. You'd wait for it. Forever. I couldn't let you do that. Nora, maybe you could visit with Eddie. I made sure to throw my best friend's name in there too, so you didn't get the wrong idea. You want me to bring my brother? Yeah, well, we'll have a great time as friends. Is that really what you want? I hate this. I hate myself for doing this to her. I knew I had to convince you to let me go without a fight. I had to drive home that we couldn't be together. Not anytime soon, anyway. Not until I became someone who could offer something to you. Something worth trusting. I wanted to reach out, touch your cheek, but I stuffed my hands in my pockets instead. I think you believe you love me, but we're friends. Friends to lovers trope is a thing. Have you watched any teen movie ever? Sure, it's a thing. But it can't be our case. Why not? I wanted to take your hand, tell you all the real reasons why. How I didn't have anything to offer you, how you deserved to be a good thing. A sure thing. How I needed you to let me go so I could make a name for myself and return to sweep you off your feet. But I knew you would wait, and watching your heart break made me so sure I would fail, so I lied and said, I'm sorry, but I need to focus on my future. You looked like I slapped you. Clearly that doesn't include me. Of course it does. We'll still be friends even if I'm in Europe for the summer. It's just the summer. God, you really love saying the F word. I was tearing you apart, and I thought it was the honorable thing to do. I was a coward, I know that now. You shouldn't wait around for someone like me. Hurt flashed across your face, and I knew you wouldn't push anymore. I won't. You don't have to worry about that. Before I could say anything else, you were gone. I'll make it up to her once I'm back with a paycheck and a life. I hope. A few weeks later, I was working my ass off in Europe, impressing my boss and making a name for myself. Ashton! Yes. Excellent work on the Miller project. C-Suite is very impressed. Thank you for the opportunity to present to them, ma'am. We follow good ideas here, kid, and you have great ones. Every night after work, I'd go home and think about you, about telling you all the things I'd accomplished. And some nights I'd email Eddie to update him on my life. I lived for any mentions of you. I wonder what Nora's doing tonight. The summer flew by, and before it ended, my boss tracked me down for a talk. Ashton, you've blown us away this summer. You're such a dedicated worker, and we're so happy with all you've done. I love it here. I'm learning so much. Well, we love having you, which is why we want to offer you a full-time position. Wow. I mean, I fit in like I've always been here. You sure do. It feels like you've been here for years. It's because you're all so welcoming. It's easy to be when someone shows such promise and works so hard. You've got genuinely new ideas, Ashton. I can't tell you how rare that is in our industry. I couldn't have them if you hadn't given me the context. Well, what do you say? Should I get the paperwork? That job offer was everything I'd ever wanted. It would give me access to data, to decision makers, to innovation, to everything I needed to make myself worthy of you. But all I want to do is see Nora again. Thank you so much for the offer, but before I decide, I need to go back home for a bit. Can I let you know my decision in a few days? Of course, but if you seriously think about saying no for even a second, call me. I'll give you the whole speech again with a 5% salary bump. We need you, Ashton. So, I flew home to visit you and Eddie and went straight from the airport to your house. Welcome back. I'm so happy to be home. Eddie and I caught up in your living room, and I couldn't believe I'd ever left. Being around my best friends felt so right. How's it going? Are you loving Europe? Does it love you back? It's going pretty damn well. I love it, but I miss being here, too. I swallowed, trying to figure out how I could ask about you without raising Eddie's alarm. So, the house was quiet. Oh, yeah. Wanna put a game on? Not that I meant at all, but I gave him a weak smile. Sure, why not? I gotta take advantage of having the TV while we can. Has Nora hogged it all summer? No, actually, she's been out a lot. My dad's really, into nature docs, though. I sighed. The conversation had led where I'd hoped. Finally, I bit the bullet and went for the direct approach. How's Nora? She's, I barely started a sentence when you came into the living room, arm in arm with someone else. Oh, hey, Ashton, glad you're back. Wes, this is my friend, Ashton. Ashton, this is Wes, my boyfriend. Hey, nice to meet you. This is where he went in the afterlife. Likewise. The three of us gave each other cautious smiles, and then you grabbed Wes's arm. Anyway, we just came home so I could change before we head to a music festival. See you later. You were gone in a flash, looking so happy with Wes. It was my fault. I told you not to wait for me, but I was too late. Eddie saw the hurt on my face and frowned. Ashton, I let what happened with Nora go because she asked me to, but I'm telling you as a friend, keep your distance. You've done enough damage. I wanted to defend myself, but how could I? Eddie was right. Now playing as Nora. So you stepped away. Eddie didn't want me to hurt you again, and I hated myself for what I'd done to you. I'd taken your agency away, and I regretted it every day. You stare at Ashton, completely floored from his confession. You had no idea he had done all this for you. It's waterlogged at best. And while Eddie was trying to protect you, there might have been a chance for you and Ashton if he hadn't interfered. You really let my brother ruin our lives. You're an idiot. You really put me first, even though it hurt you. Rub the back of your neck, trying to take all this in. I was so sure you didn't care about me. I hated making you think that, even for a second. You don't know if you want to scream with frustration or cry with happy tears. I really always cared about you deeply. I was hoping dating would distract me from you and my broken heart, but it didn't work. I'm sorry. I'm both sorry and not sorry it didn't work out. Mostly not sorry. Elation comes over you as the realization of what this means hits. You feel warm from your nose to your toes, and you know Ashton can tell. Come with me. He takes your hand and leads you away from the garden and towards his personal beach villa. And in this moment, for the first time, you know you can trust every word he says. You have my word, I will never hurt you again. I wish I could make up for all the lost time between us, but you're here with me now, in the Maldives of all places. I've never been somewhere so romantic. He tilts your head, looking at the Ashton with a soft expression. I haven't either, in being here with you. He brings your hands up to his mouth and kisses. It's absolutely perfect. My thoughts exactly. The way Ashton's looking at you now makes you feel sexy, powerful, and his vulnerability, when you've waited so long for, is one hell of a turn on. You reach for Ashton, pull him towards you in a heated kiss, pushing him against the door. He takes the hint with an eagerness you only imagine in your most fervent fantasies. No more talking. Nope, not a word. Then could both of you shut up? You moan, breathing hard against his mouth. Except I have to say words. He pulls back, cupping your face in his hands. Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for giving us a chance after everything I've done. You were so wrong, but I'm willing to let you make it up to me. Do tell what that entails. Oh, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Let him position me, wrap my legs around him. You throw your arms around his neck and jump into his arms, wrapping your legs around his torso. His strong arms hold you tight. I'm beginning to think you want me for my body. Well, it's almost as sexy as your brain. Every nerve in your body thrums against his raw strength, and his hard arousal presses against you with the promise of everything you so desperately need. Every kiss with him feels sweeter, every breath feels lighter, and you feel like you've finally tasted oxygen for the first time. After a few moments, Ashton breaks the kiss and opens the door, his invitation clear. He looks at you with a soft glance. It's time I delivered on my promise when I asked you over the other night. And now there are no secrets between us, no pesky distractions. I can worship you in my own way, on my own time. No, slow down. As good as that offer sounds, let's save it for later. There's no rush. Pull Ashton into your arms and rest your head on his chest. It kisses the crown of your head. Too true. I believe we have all the time in the world. Later that evening, it's time for filming to begin. Where Mercy gone, you want to turn this last episode into something people will talk about for years. So you track down Gemma to get her feelings about her list of partners. I already made my decision to choose Will. He's not as boring as the others. That does not match with what she told production the other day. You win knowing Eric, her suitor, is already on his way. Well, maybe you should hear him out before you break his heart. Gemma sighs and folds her arms across her chest. Why? Audiences will want to see the Gemma who is a great friend and a good person. You have to let him down easy. Fine. You take a seat next to Ashton behind the cameras. Eddie starts rolling. You hold your breath as Gemma's first suitor arrives. Okay, Eric, we both know this wasn't gonna work. But Gemma, I thought we had something. But I love you. You're the girl for me. That's a lot of certainty for a guy who can't decide between chicken and beef kebabs. Really? I said that in confidence. You give Ashton a subtle but very nerdy symphony conductor gesture as Gemma continues her tirade. Ashton leans over to your ear. Oh, this is an incredible twist. Great job. It's not what we planned, but it will at least bring the drama. You think Will's it for her then? We're about to find out. I'm kinda surprised. I didn't think you liked me that much. You wince as Gemma fumbles through her last-minute speech of devotion. Of course I do. You're, great. That's all you have to say? Eddie groans and calls for a cut. You hop back on the set to give Gemma a little more direction. Gemma, that takes perfect. Film it again. Sure, I have nothing else to do on this island. She clears her throat and turns back to Will. Will, you've made it past all my other suitors, so congrats. Oh, okay? This isn't that kind of reality show. Of course it is. I can see the memes now. You sit back down next to Ashton, and he leans in. I just got off with the field producer who drove him to set. It's about to get so much worse. Excellent. And we've won. I got the best suitor of all. I'd give you a rose, but that's a violation of intellectual property. Gemma, just stop, okay? Excuse me? You're so self-centered. You're only here for the fans and your reputation. Has it ever occurred to you that maybe I wanted this for real? I deserve better than anything you can offer. Who could possibly be better? Mercy? No. I don't want anything to do with any of you. In a flash, Gemma's hand snakes out a glass of rose. Phil flies at Will's face. Ashton turns to grin at you. What the hell, Gemma? Is that all you Bianchis are good for, slinging drinks? I guess you'll never find out. Get out of my sight. The camera's cut. The crew rushes over to Will with a towel. Ashton turns to you. Incredible, as always. Well, the viewers will eat it up. Ashton waves his hand through the air. They're gonna eat it up. Fingers crossed. Ashton's confidence in you and the show does rub off a little. You're very aware of the warmth of his shoulder next to yours, but there's still one last encounter to film. Gemma is started arguing with Will as they're escorted off set. Celeste arrives for her scene with Lily. A puddle. Seems like Gemma's proposal went well. Yours will be our happy ending. I'm positive. I've never thought I'd say this, but I actually hope you're right. The camera and crew reset. Celeste stands on her mark, strangely nervous. You take your seat behind the camera and call for Lily to enter. Celeste's jaw drops as the door opens and Lily steps through. She's resplendent, radiant, every contestant's dream. Celeste. Lily, you look Like, so good. I mean, great. Celeste swallows so audibly, her mic picks it up, and you can't help but grin at Eddie. I can see you're nervous. Don't be. So smoothly, you almost get butterflies. Lily drops to one knee. Celeste, I know you won't believe it, but I was in love with you from the first day we met. That's completely insane. Uh-oh. Are we about to get two rejected suitors? You place your hand on Ashton's forearm, even though you know you can't be wrong. Just wait. We've barely spent any time together, so you may not have noticed that I'm rude, aloof, and like maybe 3 people total. Celeste, I like that you're grumpy. I like that I'm the one of those 3 special people. Unless you're trying to tell me I'm not. Don't be ridiculous. It might be a short list, but you're my favorite. Then marry me. Celeste holds out her hand, and Lily slides a beautiful ring onto her finger and stands as Celeste pulls her into a kiss. The rest of the cast, crew, and the whole freaking set goes wild. And looks like we have the plot down for season 2. See, Lily is a go. Ashton turns to you and Eddie with a giant grin. A wedding. I wonder what Celeste thinks of Greece. The next day, you're all packed and ready to head back to LA. You and Ashton linger for just one last moment on the tarmac. That's a wrap. We really did it. You did it. Warmth in his eyes is almost too much, too obvious, and then Eddie's nowhere around. I'm not sure how we're going to get through the next flight with Eddie so close. Does he have to come with us? Can he go with the rest of the crew? Unfortunately, we do have some business to work out between the 3 of us. I can't wait to talk business. I have so many ideas for season 2, different positions to put the cast in, how to raise the tension. If you keep talking like that, I'm going to have a hard time staying on task. Where is my brother anyway? He knows we need to leave, right? The 2 of you head over to the building where Eddie's bags are propped out outside the bathroom. You knock, it takes a full minute, but eventually he unlocks the door and peeks out, looking like a wreck. Oh, leave me to die. This stomach bug is the worst I've had since the bird flu. There's a bathroom on board. Can't you? No. What do you want? To get on the plane? Look, I know it's added cost, but I'll have to take the next one. I can't fly like this. He barely gets out the words before his face turns green. He quickly shuts the door and slides back into place. You raise an eyebrow. Ashton turns to you. Looks like it's just going to be us on a very long flight. All on our own. Did you poison him? I'm serious. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Plenty of ways to support. There's also the join and thanks feature on the channel. Other than that, thank you all for watching. Love your beautiful faces. And yeah, no, look forward to other videos. Peace out.